Hi, I'm Miss Lori, and today we're going to do something called monoprinting. Mono means one, and printing means you make an impression. But we're going to be doing something really unusual today. We're going to paint on the table. And I know you're going, how can we paint on the table? But you can paint on the table, you'll see. We're going to be printing on paper this big, so we have to keep in our mind, we can't do a painting this big because our paper's this big, and we're going to be painting here and then pressing the paper against it and taking the image up. So I was thinking for you that I would make a face. I'm going to quickly mix a color for the skin. Tap, tap, tap. Pat, pat, pat. A little tiny bit of red. That's too much. A little much, but we'll see. A whisper of blue. That's too much blue. See if that works. Ooh, I get a kind of cool brownish color. And I might add, I like that color, actually. I'm gonna work with this. And I'm thinking about this shape, and I'm painting. You gotta keep your paints thick. You don't want too much water getting into them. And you wanna keep them thick so that you have to paint quickly, because if it dries, it won't come up as an image. So, oops, I think I'm gonna do the neck too, which I forgot, right? And then where I want the eyes, I'm gonna just try to use a sponge to take up a little bit. I forgot that we could use Q-tips, but I don't have them now. I'm gonna make like a color for the eye. And I'm actually gonna make the nose the same color, but a little lighter. Forehead. There we go. And then some red lips like we are wearing makeup. Sometimes, see, I want to get one more thing. I lost a little bit more paint than I wanted to here. So, I want some eyelids too. And I'm going to use a little bit of black. Where's the black? I thought we had some. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of black, off camera black. And maybe make eyelids, eyebrows, and draw a little bit under the eye. Maybe a line through the lips. And we're going to put on some hair. I'm going to use my big brush for the hair. And woohoo, I'm having fun with this. Can you believe I'm actually painting on the table? Let's see, I'm not going to print it yet, but I just want to see. I have a little room for maybe a shirt or a dress. I love red on monotype, so we're going to do a red dress. And even some blue polka dots. So much fun. I hope you have as much fun as me when you do it. I think I'm going to take this a little bit back here. See, so I'm playing with my image, but I have to go really fast. And the reason I have to go really fast is if the paint dries, it won't pick up. So we're going to go for some eyes. I want to tell you this before I print it. Sometimes people are disappointed when they print it because it looks a little messy, like it doesn't look the way you imagined it would. But then later on, you can add oil pastel and you can bring things back. So how about I do a white and maybe pink background. I'm just going to paint the background very quickly. This is a little bit bigger than my paper, I think, but that's okay, and I'll show you why. Okay, what do you think? Does it look like it's ready to print? I think maybe it is. You can add things in the background if you want. Right now I'm going very quickly. So I can see that this is going to kind of spread out a little bit more than I might want it to. But guess what? When I work over it with oil pastel, I can bring it all back exactly the way I want it. Okay, so one more thing I want to do. Well, we're going to just print. So I'm laying it on top and I'm putting it down all at once. And I'm rubbing it. And then I'm gonna pick it up. Woohoo! Oops, see the nose? I want a little bit more on the nose. That's cool. Now I know it looks like it's running all over the place, but it's gonna be so much fun to work on. And now I can do a ghost print too. I'm just gonna fix those eyes a little bit. And I'm gonna fix the mouth a little bit with a sponge. And then I can just take the paper and just put it right on top and do a second print. And that might be, now I have two to play with and to add oil pastel too. Let's see. That's kind of cool too. What do you think? I know you're thinking, that looks messy. I don't want it to look that messy. But when you finish it, you can start, if you look at this, you can see on this side, I started to add oil pastel. On this side I didn't, but on this side I did. And you can see that you can start to draw it in just the way you want it. Hi, I'm Miss Laurie. Today we're gonna make art, and what we're gonna make is we're gonna make a mono print. A mono means one, M-O-N-O, mono, and a print is something that you don't paint directly on, but you pick it up from another surface. So we're going to do a mono print, and I'm going to show you really quickly. But one thing I'll tell you is you have to think about the size of your paper. This is the size paper I'm using. So I don't want to paint something bigger than this. I want it to fit on top, and you'll see why in a minute. So I have my brush and my sponge, and I'm going to make a face. And I'm going to start with a lot of yellow. This back. A lot of yellow. And a little bit of red. And a whisper of blue, because blue is a very strong, strong color. I'm going to use this blue this time. There we go. I mixed it together. Kind of like that color. Sort of a beautiful color. And let me think again, thinking about the size that I need to make it. I'm making a face. See, I'm keeping my paint really thick because it will dry if it's too thin. And it won't look right. So there's like my face shape, and that's gonna be, maybe I'll make my neck a little bit, slightly bit darker. I had a little black there, so I'm cheating, and I'm just pulling the black up. There we go. And I'm going to take my sponge where I want my eyes to be, and I'm gonna just wipe it down a little tiny bit. You can use a Q-tip too if you have one on hand. That's really fun. You can even draw into it with a Q-tip, which is fun. So I'm gonna make the eyes white. Now if you use a lot of paint, it will smear. But if it smears, it's okay, because you're gonna work on it next week, or next time you're here, you're gonna work on it with oil pastel, where you can make it do what you want. I'm just picking colors up really quickly. So, tap, 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 pat, pat, pat. I'm even gonna add a little tiny bit of white, but I don't wanna make it too thick, because then it will smear. And trying to think, I want a little bit darker version of the skin color to draw my nose. Mixing too much blue in. get a little tiny bit of red, but I'm drying my brush. As you can see, I'm really drying it because I don't want it too wet, and I'm working so fast because if it dries, none of my image will show. So maybe I'm gonna have my eyelids, and I'm gonna make like nose. There we go. Okay. It's so fun, right? Then actually, I'm gonna just mix a little bit of red into my skin tone, and I'm gonna make lips. Maybe put a little tiny bit of light color on the bottom lip, because the light sometimes hits that. And I'm getting there, right? I'm gonna do black hair because it's very dramatic, and black eyebrows. And maybe I'll make the hair. Ooh, that's so much fun. I am having so much fun with this. You're gonna have fun too when it's your turn. And it's gonna be your turn very quickly. There we go. And I think my shirt's gonna be white with a little tiny bit of pink. And I'm gonna make a shirt. Maybe it's gonna be a striped shirt, let's see. I love stripes. Do you love stripes? There we go. How about some, what color, Kathy? Red stripes, you think? Stripes or polka dot?
Red and pink, that's cool.
Red and pink is cool. Red and light pink. There we go. I can even outline the shoulders. And I'm gonna put in a background. I'm gonna mix up a little bit of, nope, I'm not gonna mix up green. You know why I'm not gonna mix up green? Because I'm out of yellow. That happens. I'm gonna mix up the purple. Tap, tap, tap. See how I'm keeping my brush pretty dry? And I'm gonna mix some white. It's gonna be like a purplish. And I'm gonna dry my brush, mix some water in, and I'm gonna put a background on. Maybe that's a purple sky. And maybe, and I'm making it a little bigger than my page. Maybe there's some pink clouds in my purple sky that match the shirt a little bit. There we go. And here we are, ready to print. So I take my paper and I'm gonna try to put it right on top and not smear it. Just, I'm gonna mix some of the image, so I have to pick where I want it to be. And I'm gonna lightly rub it down. Now remember what I said, if you're not happy because it's smeary like this one, don't worry, because later on you will get oil pastel to make it detailed. So you just need a base for it. And let's see, I think this is sitting here long enough.
Ooh, that came out pretty good.
Yeah, it really did, didn't it? I'm happy. Now, we're gonna do one more thing. We're gonna do what we call a ghost print. Ghost means it's lighter, but you can work on top of it and it's really fun. So you rub that one a little harder because there's a lot less paint. And then you pull it up. And I like this one too. I'm gonna have fun working on that. I'm gonna be working on top of that later. Oh, no,
I like the table.
Okay, I do too. I like the table, but you know, it's staring at me, but I might want to do another one, but I definitely have to clean it for the next person. So I'm just going to take a sponge and rub over it, and it's all set for the next person, or for me to do a new one. Forgot one thing. Go put it back on for a second. Okay, the one thing that I forgot to show you is table's getting cleaner now, right? So you can do that. And if you want to do another painting, you have to take a paper towel and dry